On the night the babies were born, Vivian, the wicked stepsister of Precious, took one of them, wrapped them in an old shawl, and disappeared into the rain. And that child was one of the twins Precious gave birth to. It was a boy child. This is the story of Precious, Vivian, and Kelvin. Precious wasn't loud. She didn't cause trouble. She wasn't the prettiest or the most popular, but she had something deep in her. Something quiet, something sweet. She lost her mother when she was still a teenager. Her father remarried soon after, and that marriage brought Vivian, her stepsister. Vivian was everything Precious wasn't. Loud, proud, always wanting to be seen. She wore shiny clothes. She had a kind of laugh that made people turn their heads, but underneath that shine was something very dark. One night, during the town's harvest celebration, Precious met a man. His name was Kelvin. Kelvin wasn't from the village. He had to come to visit his relatives for the festival. He was tall, clean, and well-spoken, the kind of man girls dreamed about. He noticed Precious, not Vivian, and that alone caused trouble. They laughed, talked, shared palm wine, and that night they ended up together. It was a one-night stand. So, when Kelvin was about leaving, he placed a ring on Precious's finger as a sign that he was with her. But what happened? Vivian came into the room because Precious was drunk, and she took the ring and wore it on her finger. So the next day, Kelvin left for the city. He didn't leave his phone number, no address, no promise, nothing. He just left, he just disappeared. And a month later, Precious knew she was carrying life inside of her. In their village, a girl having a child outside marriage says something that follows you. It taints your name. People don't forget about it. Vivian was the first to hear about it, and she used it against Precious. She laughed at her. "Oh, you are pregnant," she said. "Who is the father?" "Nobody knows." She laughed in that cruel way of hers. Even their stepmother turned cold. Precious kept quiet. She carried her shame and her belly alone. The night the twins were born, it rained hard. The kind of rain that drowns sound. The midwife came, just one woman, Mama Nneka. 2 babies, a boy and a girl. But something happened that night. Vivian showed up. No one knows why. She wasn't supposed to be there. And by morning, only one baby was left with Precious, the girl. People asked, "Where is the second baby?" Mama Nneka looked away. She said, "Complications. He didn't make it." Precious was too weak to argue. She believed what she was told. A month later, Vivian left the village. When she returned, she had a child, a baby boy, and she said, "This is my son, the child of Kelvin." The same Kelvin she once mocked, the same Kelvin who never even looked her way. People whispered, of course, but Vivian was too clever. She changed the story before it could settle. "I met Kelvin before Precious," she said. "She's jealous, she's bitter," and she showed off the child like a trophy. And Kelvin would believe because she was wearing the ring he left with the girl he slept with that night. They were both drunk, so he couldn't even remember. So the ring was the only proof, and Vivian had the ring. One morning, Precious was gone. No goodbye, no letter, just left. Some said she ran away in shame. Others said she died somewhere, poor and alone. But people were in doubt. She had something inside of her, something soft, but something strong. 6 years, time moved. The children grew. People forgot. That's how things go. That's how the life moves. Vivian became a big name, opened a shop, claimed she was engaged to Kelvin. The boy she stole from Precious grew up calling her mom, and no one dared speak of Precious again close to her, until one market day, a woman walked into town. She wore a plain dress, no jewelry, no loud words, but something about her made the air pause. She was holding the hand of a little girl, and the moment I saw her, I knew she had returned. She didn't call herself Precious anymore. She said her name was Hannah. She opened a small store, selling handmade perfumes, strange scents, natural, deep, calming, smells like old memories. People came from all over, even Vivian and Kelvin. They didn't recognize her because she wasn't too fashionable. But now she's looking all good and dapper, so they couldn't recognize her. But the little girl with her, she looked just like the boy Vivian claimed is hers. This is just the beginning. A stolen child, a lie carried too far, and a mother who lost everything, only to rise again in silence. They thought Precious was gone, but the wind always brings the truth back, and the sense of secret, it never stays hidden for long. This is the end of part 1. If you learned anything from the story, say what you learned in the comment section, share and subscribe. Wait for part 2 soon.